Welcome back to the Healthy Heathcote 90-Day Challenge. We're here in beautiful Tumbling Waters Retreat at Stanwell Tops. And we're back with Emily. Hello, Emily.
Hi, Lee.
What are we talking about today, Emily?
Today we're talking about fats. So there are good fats and bad fats. Some people think that we've been told that all fats are bad for many years now. The thing is, though, is that the research that went into fats being bad, these were association studies, and so they associated countries that ate lots of fats with high degrees of heart disease. So the problem is with that is that's an association. So saying that a high-fat diet is associated with heart disease is like saying opening an umbrella is associated with it raining. And that's true. They are associated, but opening an umbrella does not cause it to rain. They go together. So a high-fat diet was found to actually just be associated with heart disease. But in fact, when you put all the research together with all the countries, there actually is no association. So we've actually gotten this wrong over the years.
So we've been sold a pup all these years.
We have been. And it seemed to make sense because fats actually have more calories in them. So we did think that, oh, there's more calories, so if we take those out of our diet, we will eat less calories, and that will help our health, and we will lose weight. But the problem is that fats are actually what make us feel full, and so they make us feel satisfied. And so when you don't eat them, you actually end up eating more calories, and you need more carbohydrates. So a high-fat, low-carbohydrate diet will actually improve your weight, your cholesterol, diabetes, and inflammation, whereas a high-carbohydrate, low-fat diet actually makes all of those things worse.
So I'm off the hook.
Well, you can't just eat any fats.
Oh.
Sorry. There are some bad fats, as I said in the beginning. So one of the biggest ones in my mind is actually trans fats. So trans fats, we've made them. They're not natural. They've been manufactured, and so you can find these things. There's margarine is the original one where they put trans fats in, and you also find it in some processed things like some chips and other processed foods. So you really do need to check labels. And the problem with trans fats is our bodies don't like them. They're not natural, and it can affect cholesterol and heart disease, diabetes. It can give reproductive difficulties, decrease the nutrition in your breast milk, and it's actually been linked to cancer. So they're really bad, and they just need to go.
So we just need to check our labels.
Yep, you just need to check the labels for trans fats. Yep. And then some other ones. So farmed fish is actually another one that's not very good for you. So fish are actually supposed to eat algae, and when they eat algae, that's what gets all the good fats in their system. Farm fish don't eat algae, so they're off the table as well. So you want to check your fish, and also processed meats. So that's the one. I think we all know that they're not that good for us. So we shouldn't actually be stopping at every single sausage sizzle we see along the way. And that's the one that the World Health Organization actually came out last year saying that there is a link with processed meats and cancer.
Processed meats like?
So that's your ham, your bacon, your sausage, whatever Devon is.
That's not in a food group.
No, so those are the things that they're really high in salt, preservatives, and nitrates, and they're really bad for you. So we need to start decreasing those as well on the way. So,
okay, fantastic. So Emily, you've told us what we can't eat. What can we eat?
Well, so there are lots of good fats that we can eat. So I've mentioned fish. So if we do the wild fish, then that is full of good fats, and those are great for us. One confusing one is dairy products. So we actually do want to have full cream dairy products because there's more calories in them, yes, but they'll make us feel more full faster, and they have less sugar in them. So we'll actually end up eating less calories.
See, that's always confused me because I've been on a low-fat diet, dairy for eons, and I'm a living, walking example of what low fat does for you.
Yep, it is one of the most common misconceptions. So we really do want to switch that dairy. We want to get full cream dairy in there, and the meat. So we want to do grass-fed meat is the other really important one, because when animals are fed grain, like cows and the sheep, when they're fed grain, that actually makes inflammation in their bodies. And then we eat it, and then it's bad for us and causes inflammation in our bodies. So we really want to do that as well. So we want wild fish, and we want full cream dairy, and we want grass-fed red meat.
So that's as far as food. What other fats are available to us?
Yep, so there's lots of products that got some good fats in them for snacks. And we've got some examples here. We've got some almonds, some linseeds, and some walnuts. And you can also do pumpkin seeds, sesame seeds. All those nuts have got lots of good fats in them. And for cooking, cooking is one of the most important ones because people get confused about what to cook with. So some good ones are coconut oil, we've got some sesame oil, rice bran oil, and olive oil. Actually, you can cook with it. It's a bit confusing. If you get a really high quality olive oil, then it's okay for cooking, but it's the cheap olive oils that they go toxic if you heat them. So we just want to keep with the good quality, expensive ones, unfortunately. But also, and we want to try to make things ourselves, because then we know what's in them, and we know that it's just got natural products in them. So I think you have an example of a dressing.
For example, I mean, we go and buy a French dressing from the supermarket. It's full of preservatives and additives just to make the flavours profiles. But an easy one which you can do at home is whole grain mustard. About a teaspoonful, depending on how big your salad is, of course. A little bit of garlic.
Ooh, nice.
Some cider vinegar. And some virgin olive oil.
So I've also noticed there's no salt or oil or salt or sugar in.
To be honest, there's enough
in
it. There's enough in the mustard and the garlic. It'll give it a very, very nice, pleasant flavour.
Delicious.
So you just emulsify that, and then you've got a beautiful, delicious French dressing.
And that was easy.
So easy,
yep.
So cheap, and so good for you.
Yep. So this week we've got a couple of tasks for you, everybody. So we're going to carry on from last week. So last week we drank 250 mils of water a day. This week, if you started off at nothing, you're going to drink 500 mils of water each day. So keep increasing that one. Plus, we're going to move on. We're going to decrease our trans fats. So we do really want to check labels, because that's the only way to know if it's got trans fats. Decrease our processed meats. So again, not every sausage sizzle. Every time you go to Bunnings, don't need to stop there. Okay. Switch to full cream dairy. I know this is going to be hard for a lot of people. It's hard to mentally get around, but you will feel better switching to full cream dairy, and also checking our cooking oils.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Emily.
No problem.
Again, I thank the beautiful people at Tumbling Waters Retreat for allowing us to film these short videos. Thank you for joining us. So, Emily, what's on next week?
Next week we're going to talk about caffeine.
Oh.
And what that can do to you. So, so the next week we got our tasks to do. So again, we're going to put them up on the Facebook page for everybody. And if you could join in and give us any recipes that maybe you've got a great dressing recipe that other people can share with us. And and contribute to the group. And you can check out, there's a link to my blog if you need some more information there as well. So we'll see everyone next week.
Thank you very much for joining me today, and thank you.